I do have another question. How did you get the name Sorry Mom's Tattoos?
So that came from I called my mom when I lived in San Antonio. Um, I lived and worked in San Antonio, and I called my mom and I told her, I said, "Hey, mom, I'm getting my neck tattooed," and she was just like, "Oh yeah, I think it'll be cute," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, well, I'll see you soon for the holidays," and hung up the phone. Got my neck tattooed. I got my very first tattoo machine on my neck. Just to kind of always remember, where I come from.
Yeah, and then I bet your mom was tripping out.
Oh man, I came back for the holidays and she was just like, Hispanic mother. She was like, "¿Qué chingados te hiciste?" And I was just like, "I told you I was getting my neck tattooed," and she was just like, "No, no, no," and I was just like, "Sorry, mom."
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I was thinking about a business name, there was a few that I was throwing around, but it was just so relatable, and I thought about branding and I thought about how when I tattoo people, even if it's like an 18-year-old, their first tattoo, they go home and their parents might not approve it, but sorry, mom.
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
how it started.
That's how it started. So today's special guest is Davi from Davi Tattoos.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Davi?
Pretty good, man.
Man, I'm glad you're able to come, man.
Thank you, bro.
For a while there, I wasn't sure if you were gonna come because it was like the weather right now. I was like, it's nasty out there right now.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, even my dog's like, let me in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to bring you in because I noticed that you do tattoos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I've seen some of your work and like, man, I like the artistic drawings and just the coloring, the way they draw, shadowing lines, everything like that. So first I want to ask you, like I asked my guest, who is Davi?
Davi, first and foremost, I'm a father, family man, business owner.
Yeah. How many kids? Is it
just one?
Just one?
Yeah,
okay.
I just have one boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 years old, you said, right?
8 years old. Yeah.
And the boy's always fun too,
Crazy right now. I love it. So far. Everything's good, man. But I run my own business. I also work full time there as a tattoo artist. I paint. I like to get into a lot of things. So like, I'd go from different mediums. Like I painted my own truck. Do painting on canvas. So
really?
Yeah.
What kind of paint do you use? Like some regular base coat, clear coat?
For the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did which is three, but the primer, base coat, and then clear coat.
Okay.
A lot of shots of clear coat.
Yeah,
I like clear coat.
Yeah. This is, I used to paint cars.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I did it for like 17 years.
Oh wow!
I was in the industry or whatever, and then the only thing I didn't like about that industry is that it was commission based.
Oh, I have heard that, especially right now, it's like really bad to be in the body work. Right now.
It's anytime and during the holidays, because and nobody wants to spend money on the cars,
Yeah.
So we always have to save our vacation days and stuff like that just so we could get by.
Wow. Yeah. So you probably show me some things in painting then.
Oh yeah. I actually used to rent out like a little spot over there in Beaumont, and I used to paint cars on the side and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. On this, you probably didn't see it, but I got the little red barn right there that I'm gonna probably try to make it into like a little
booth,
little booth and stuff like that, and start painting on the side.
Yeah,
I'll make some money right there.
Man, yeah, because a lot of people really don't want to do like complete jobs anymore. That's why I ended up doing it myself. It was 2020 during the pandemic. They shut everything down. I had a guy who's gonna paint my truck for me, and he took some time off too. And I was like, man, I got a few months ahead of me with no work, so let's spray this thing. Did my research, and I did what I could off of YouTube.
Yeah. We all do,
Yeah, yeah, everything. So, but yeah, man, I get into different things. I just like learning. That's my main thing.
You have a very creative mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta keep yourself busy. Because I can't. Same here. You know what I mean? I have a creative. I used to like drawing when I was younger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like starting this podcast, it takes a lot of creativity to come up with the color scheme. Luckily the logo, I used the AI to help me with the logo.
Yeah,
it came out pretty good, and just like stay busy like that.
Yeah,
projects here and there.
Yeah, Yeah, I watched your podcast with Francisco. I think it was recently.
Yeah.
And I heard that you like to get your hands, on everything. So that was pretty cool because I'm the same way, man. I like to anything that I feel like I want to do catches my interest. I do my research and then I do it.
Yeah,
and it's more for the experience,
Yeah, it was the experience, and it gets you concentrated at that objective you're trying to do.
Yeah,
you're learning, and it's kind of, I guess, like some type of meditation.
It is, yeah, and it's rewarding too, not just to look back at it and to see what you've created, but that you were able to. You know what I'm saying? So definitely one day I would like to. My next thing to get into is woodwork.
Oh, woodwork?
Woodwork, like building. I wanted to build a dog house for my dogs recently, and then I ended up finding one on Facebook Marketplace, and I just bought it.
So I don't know if you've seen the little dog house that was out there in front of the house.
No, I did see your fence though.
Okay,
it looked good.
I did.
Yeah, it looked good.
I did the best I could. I still need to finish up some little things here and there, but it came out good for actually being like my biggest fence that I ever put up.
Yeah, no, it looks good. For your dogs?
For my dog. Well, for dog. But I built them like a little house. But I ended up using like a little playground that was behind the barn. I dragged that thing and put it inside the area where the dogs are at. But before I put the posts up, it was heavy. It was really heavy. It was probably as long as this building right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's good size. So we put it in there. I said, you know what? I probably could cut this in 2 sections, halfway. Use it one portion of it as the doghouse, and then the other portion I'm gonna probably just use it for like a stand or whatever for them to play with or whatever. So I want to ask you, why did you get into tattooing? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode to the R to the J podcast, where we talk to you everyday entrepreneur, small business owner, and people who live in Southeast Texas. If you like what we're doing over here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. It sure helps this channel grow. And if you want to be on the podcast, go ahead and send me a comment, send me an email. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and we sure love to have you here. Now, back to the episode.
I got into tattooing, man, when I was a kid. One of my family members, he tattooed. So, it was always in the family. We'd work on cars at my other cousin's shop. We'd work on lowriders, bagging trucks and stuff like that. And then after they closed for the day, we would go to the tattoo shop and hang out. Okay. So I always saw it my whole life. Never thought I'd be doing it. Yeah.
Did you, when you first started your first tattoo, was it like a homemade shift tattoos? You know how?
Nah. I did my first tattoo at 12 years old with an actual tattoo machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I didn't touch it again until I was about 16.
And what did you end up tattooing?
At 12 years old?
Yeah.
It was a last name on this biker lady's lower back.
Oh, a real person too, you know?
Yeah, it was a real person, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, that was the first time, but at that time, I didn't like it. It was just, like, not my thing. Yeah. Also, I was very traumatized with needles. When you're a kid, you get, all your vaccines or whatever, and I didn't like anything with needles and blood, so I didn't touch it again.
I'm still surprised that the lady would just say, you're 12 years old kid, go ahead, tattoo me.
Yeah.
That was wild.
She saw me drawing it, and she was like, I want the little guy to do it, and I was like, all right, cool, let's try this out. Yeah. I was like, let's try it out, and I think I was just so young and just excited to do a tattoo because I saw it and I thought it was cool. But yeah, things didn't get serious until 16. Mm-hmm. And then, I tattooed a few friends, coworkers, and from there, just, I went from a graffiti artist to actually tattooing and getting paid for it. And not only because of pay, but it was kind of like the reward for it, and leaving my mark on somebody for a lifetime. I was just hooked.
Yeah. Cause you tatted up yourself too, right? You got some good ones too. You see like a flowers, all kinds. Is it like pretty much the whole body, like your back and your chest?
No, I don't have anything on my torso or my back yet. I already booked my torso. So by the end of this year, I'll have my whole torso done and connected with both my neck and everything. So, and then my back, it's just so hard to come up with what I want, man. You would think it'd be easier because I create all the time, but most of the time I'm creating for other people. Yeah,
I got a couple tattoos too, like right here. That I might want to make it bigger or whatever, and here as well too, and kind of finish it up or whatever. I'll show you afterwards. Yeah, and but What do you like doing the colors as well too, right?
Yeah, I like doing color and black and gray.
Okay.
Man, I started when I started actually, after 16, I messed around with it until I was about 17, and then I got into a tattoo studio with my cousin that he was the one in the family that tattooed. So he saw that I was tattooing out of the house, and then he moved back from Arizona, I believe, and we had a conversation, and I helped him build the shop, and he gave me that first opportunity to get in a tattoo studio and learn a lot of good things. Yeah, and then from there, man, it just I did a little bit of everything. When you're starting off, you just taking whatever you can.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I've been doing it for this September will be 14 years now. So I've kind of dabbled into a little bit of a lot of styles. So as far as it's hard for me to put myself in a box that I only do color or that I only do black and gray. I really like to do everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
You also do portraits too.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them and they come out pretty good. I like
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And then the one I really liked is the butterfly one with it has a Japanese lady on the side.
The face of it. Yeah.
I like that, but it's the coloring. I like it. And how it just came out.
It's like bold and soft at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did 3 of those, and I had a whole series, which I didn't put all of them out, but I have about 7 more of those kind of similar designs. But yeah, those are neat to do. I enjoyed it, and the people that got them, their stories, because I kind of put like a little caption with it, so people kind of connect with the design. It kind of helps people get a piece,
Yeah.
So the people that connected with that, and I heard their stories, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So why start a business on tattooing? You think you just saw opportunity, that something you just like to dive in?
Man, at first I never saw myself owning a tattoo studio ever. There's a lot of responsibility first, just seeing it from the outside, and then of course I just didn't want to work for myself or by myself, So there's a lot of responsibility in that, but I wanted to help other people, man. I saw other artists, they needed jobs, and they wanted to learn and create their life, honestly, man. Mm-hmm. So that was my number one for doing my business, was to help other artists and watch them grow, So
your studio is in Beaumont, right?
Yeah, it's on North Street, right by the hospital, St. Elizabeth. So
you have a Facebook page for that?
Yeah, Sorry Mom Tattooing and Fine Arts.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll add all those to the links or whatever, and also at the same time I'm gonna put some of your work on.
Oh, sweet. Too. Yeah, thank you, man.
So
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Like I love art. That's what some people say. Why are you into anime? It's like. Yeah, well, it's a story, but then also the visual as well too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's one that I really like is I tell you about it, the Demon Slayer one. I don't know if you heard.
I've heard. That's my next one to watch.
Yeah.
I watched Death Note.
Oh, that was a good one.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's very mind-boggling.
That was my first anime I've ever watched. A lot of people think that I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up, but I only drew it, bro. I drew it in elementary school, and I would sell it to kids for $1.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I would sell, but I didn't know anything. I know Goku and the Boo and all them, but the main characters. Besides that, I don't know much of the storyline. Yeah.
But have you seen it yet so far? Or you still haven't? You still haven't? Oh, that's good. But it's a lot right now.
Yeah.
So they have Dragon Ball when he's a kid, and then Dragon Ball Z.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, and then the Dragon Ball GT, but then they came out with Dragon Ball Super now. So and now they're doing all some spin-off Dragon Ball Heroes, all kinds of stuff. Like, man, and they're making it bigger, because it started off just fighting Terminator, like human and Earth.
Yeah.
Now it just grew over to universes now.
Kind of like Fast and the Furious.
Pretty much, they went everywhere.
But not as lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did that. They're taking the Fast and Furious too far out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're in space and stuff.
Exactly. that's. I think once I seen that, I was like, okay, I can't watch another movie in the theaters or this. I'll watch it at the house, but not here.
Yeah, I actually got my son to watch the first one yesterday.
Yeah, the first one, and the second one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, because it was still street racing,
and then I like the third one, the Tokyo one. I kind of did like it.
Yeah, I did. A lot of people hate on it. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it.
It had a good storyline behind it.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, the actor, he's a little different, you know what I mean?
He's like country boy.
Yeah, it was a little off there, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
But overall, I enjoy it. I actually still have I don't know if I had the DVD. I had the DVD. I don't think I had the Blu-ray for it, but the DVD, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have a lot of movies and DVD just in case when streaming goes down or whatever. At least
Yeah,
there's
just
some.
pop it back
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
So the next question I was gonna ask you, like, what kind of challenges have you faced doing tattoos?
On the business side or the tattooing side?
Both, you know what I mean?
On the tattooing side, man, I feel like every year is a challenge because you're just trying to get better and better every single year. So, you know, people think that just because you know how to do a tattoo that you could do any tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're just trying to push yourself and in a way keep up, you know, things, especially nowadays, things are moving so fast. You know, new styles and people bring in certain images and stuff like that we use as reference and get it as close as we can to what they want sometimes, you know. So it's definitely challenging. The style too, realism.
Yeah.
You know, realism 10 years ago, if you do a piece that is considered realism that was done 10 years ago, now they'll be like, dude, you suck. You know, nowadays you have like hyper realistic stuff. So you're just, that's the hardest one, is just always pushing yourself because it's never going to end.
Yeah. What's the style now, you think?
Well, the realism is never going to die, honestly. Realism is such a wow factor if it's done properly. So I would say that, that's one of the challenges there. Also too, like, you know, just, staying organized, staying balanced. I think that's one of the hardest ones because, you know, the more attention you put on the business, you know, your artistry as an artist could suffer, or even your balance at home. So juggling those three things, it could be pretty tough.
How about your employees, people who work, or people you work with too, you know what I mean?
Luckily, man, I've built such a great team and not only showed them how to do it, but also like example. You know, I've been a good example for them. So, you know, we all know what we have to do in there. So everybody there, they rent the rooms. Mm-hmm. So they're self-employed, and I want them to be their own boss. I don't want to be the one telling them, micromanaging them what to do. So basically, they use me as an example. And if I see things that I could help them with to be better, definitely present it to them in a constructive way. Yeah. And so everybody takes care of the shop, man, like it's theirs, and everybody takes care of their clients like it's theirs. So it's you know, the ultimate goal with owning a business is having a self-sufficient business, and I'm blessed to have those people to help me with that.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So you're like almost like a mentor for
definitely. Yeah.
It's like what's the skills level, like years experience you think they have?
Man, they're I'm telling you, they're great. Rachel, she's my apprentice. She's been doing it for 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And man, when I saw her artwork and her drive, I was like, dude, it's only a matter of time that you're gonna just blow up, you know. Mm-hmm. And she had her own style of tattooing. So from there, it was just a matter of her just putting that out there in the world and blowing up. So she's been doing it for 4 years. I have another girl there, Yanni. She's been doing it for about 8 years now. She does a little bit of everything, and she's doing great. Carlo's been doing it about 7-8 years also, and he's amazing too, black and gray artist. So all together, man, we have a lot of years and experience in there. Yeah.
And it just takes a lot of time just to practice. It never ends, right?
It never ends, man. It's kind of like anything else in life, any other job. You know, if you stop learning, you'll stay there, and the world's gonna pass you by. So it's a never-ending thing, and I know it sounds kind of hard, but that's what makes the job interesting. Is that every year is something different, new challenges, and it's fun to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one question that I want to ask. Probably everybody wants to know what kind of crazy stories you have. Because I don't know, I've seen some crazy stories on like reels where a guy tattooing a girl like down there, and then suddenly they start squirting, and they're like,
oh my god. Like, never had any experience like that. I've definitely heard some with like piercings and some other things like that. But man, the only one I think that pops up in my head like that. It's this one time I tattooed. I was just starting off. I think I was like a few months into tattooing, and you know, and when you're just starting off, nobody comes in and like asks for you. You know, they're just like whoever, you know. And the person that was working the front desk, they're like, hey, this man is here to talk to you. He's looking for you. And I was like, no way. He's like, yeah. He requested specifically you. And I was like, all right. So I walk up to the front. And I was like, yeah, man, what can I do for you? Whatever. And he's just like, yeah, I want to get 2 smiley faces and the lettering, I was born this way. And I was just like, okay, this sounds simple. Where do you want to get it at? And he's like right here. And I was just like oh, your stomach? Yeah. And he's like, no, lower. And I was just like underneath your belly button? He goes, no, lower. And I was just like, dude, I said, who recommended you to me? And she was like, oh, the lady in the front said that you were the guy for that type of tattoo. And I was like, man.
Were you the only guy?
Yeah, and I could say no because you're just starting off, you know. So you're kind of like the bitch of the shop, and you got to do whatever it is. And so I did it, and I was so mad, man. It was like right above his junk.
Oh man!
But man, yeah. And then I did it so fast too. I did it like in 25 minutes, dude. I was like, get out of here! I was so mad. Everybody in the back was recording and stuff like that. But as far as, man, crazy stories, man, luckily I didn't work at a street shop for too long. Mm-hmm. So they have, street shops and then more like private studios.
Oh, okay.
I run kind of like in the mix of two. Mm-hmm. We're basically appointment only. So we don't deal with the crazies too much.
Yeah.
But definitely I've heard so many different stories from people who had to deal with like tattooing buttholes.
Oh, damn.
Actually, I lied. I seen a guy get his nutsack tattooed. Just they were comfortable. Yeah. I came in with my lunch, and the guy had his nutsack like wrapped around and was just tattooing it.
That is wild.
Yeah. I remember that's probably the craziest story that I could tell. Yeah, but I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like out there.
Yeah.
Not even in a private room, nothing.
Damn, that is wild. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't got those type of crazy stories that happen to me in real life like that.
Nah, I don't.
Not at work, at least, you know.
Yeah. Nah. Luckily, man. It would be cool to have better stories, but luckily I don't deal with that much crazy people anymore.
That's good, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, where do you see yourself like in 5 years? You think?
Man, in 5 years, I see myself definitely way more organized than I already been practicing. Man, it's it's crazy because you think about 5 years and my kid, how old he's gonna be then. So. Really focused on him, being present, getting involved, helping him with anything that I can, and just being the best father that I can be for him in 5 years, and the same thing for my business. Just being better every single year. So 5 years from now, I mean, just being where I am right now, what I am mentally, but times 10.
Yeah, because once they turn 18, they got their own life, and they're like.
Yeah,
I go do their own things,
Yeah, it's cool to know that that you raised a young man into the world and you geared him up as much as you could, but there's also something that just gets me sad in a way, just like dang, like my little best friend, he's doing his own thing already,
Yeah,
you don't get that time like right now. That's why, man, I have a really good balance with home and work, man. Like I used to always overwork myself and burn myself out, and unintentionally, until I realized like the balance and how important all that is. And man, I started doing that, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
And part of that is because since you're like very into your work, the time just flies back fast, and you don't even know it,
Yeah. A whole day could go by, man. Sometimes I start tattooing, I look up and it's like 7 p.m.
Yeah, holy cow, what happened?
Fast. Yeah, you just get lost in it. Yeah.
Do you get like I imagine you get a lot of repeat customers, right?
Yeah, especially now. When I was starting off, you do a lot of smaller pieces. You don't get a lot of returns because you're just smaller pieces. But now when I tattoo, is mainly like 6-hour sessions, and sometimes you're not even done with the tattoo. In that session, so they'll come back in a few weeks or so. But definitely tattooing has gotten way more expensive, so sometimes people will book out 2 appointments a year and stuff like that, which is understandable.
Yeah. Have you like start off like with somebody who never had a tattoo and just slowly, gradually, you pretty much the only person who actually tattooed them?
Yeah, I have a lot of people, man, that are very loyal. And I've never been the artist that that gets offended if people go get tattooed somewhere else, you know, because you're your own collector. That's what I see, you know, as a person, as a collector. So you want to collect different things from different people. But I have some people, man, that they're just like, I don't care if they came in with a realistic image, and I'm just like, man, what I like to do is neo-traditional. They'll be like, do it in your way, and do my whole arm, do my whole leg, and I have a few people that are running around with whole sleeves and leg pieces, and before they never had any tattoos.
Yeah. But, you have a podcast too, right? That we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll call it. You say you started like a year ago.
Started about a year ago, and we did a few episodes. And like I said, it's hard for us because I'm the one doing basically what you're doing too, you know, setting everything up, making, you know, you're the producer, you know, you're making sure you have a script or you know, what questions to ask, doing research on your host, on your guest. Mm-hmm. So it becomes a lot sometimes, and especially, like I said, you know, my main focus too is, you know, being the best father that I can be. It's hard sometimes to add all that to the schedule, but I really enjoy it, man. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, so far I've been having a great time because all the people I get to meet and stuff like that. So I mean, that's why I'm doing it as well too, just to meet people, network, and maybe if some of my guests, I'm planning to do probably like a barbecue one day maybe, and then bring all my guests over, so then you guys could network each other and say, hey, I need a tattoo from you. You know what I mean? I seen some of your work or whatever.
Yeah, just build like a good network and community, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I bet you that feels good too, knowing that, you know, you built all this, you know, as well.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a long road. You know, I mean, I'm sure maybe in 3 or 5 years, maybe this podcast could grow. But you know how people could help. Subscribe, like, comment, right, guys?
Share it too on Facebook.
Yeah, it helps out a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll call it. Also, last thing I'd like to ask my guests, any last words for the audience?
Any last words for the audience besides coming by and getting tattooed by me and my people? Man, just take your time with things. Yeah. Be patient, you know. Trust the process.
And even before you want to go get a tattoo, make sure that's the one that you kind of want, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, make sure you research the artist. Research the style that you want and who is the perfect fit for it. For sure, definitely. Yeah, and don't get weird tattoos.
Yeah, that's what
in the weird spots. You could get. I like weird tattoos, not in weird spots.
Yeah, I always tell everybody if they ask if they want to get tattoos, like, well, let's make something that has some type of meaning of why you want it. Just don't get no random tattoo or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which there's those two, and whenever you start getting more covered, I think that aspect kind of loses a little bit of just like things so meaningful, you know. So I mean, as long as you like the artwork, you know, have fun, man. We only get one shot at this, so decorate your body, have fun, look good, feel good.
Yeah,
all that.
Because I have, like I said, I told you, a couple tattoos. One here, I'm from El Salvador, right? So I got a Salvador crest right there, and then here I got some wings, but I didn't want to get feather wings.
Yeah.
So I got like Archangel from the X-Men wings.
Yeah.
I found a good picture of it, so I got it done right here. And then I got my son's footsteps on my chest right there.
Nice. Where'd you get them done at?
Man, this one was in Beaumont. I forgot the spot. This one was
they were local though?
Yeah, it was local.
Yeah.
In Nearland. On Twin City and then Nearland side.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the shop.
Yeah.
This one, I think this one as well too.
Yeah.
But it was like different time frames. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like almost last minute thing too. It's like, hey, let me go ahead and get this.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I ever need one more done to it, I'll get you to do it.
I got you, man. I won't let you down.
I know you won't. I seen you. Like I said, I seen you working. I said like that's another reason why I do this podcast too. That way I get to know people. And so I liked him. I like his work as well too. I'll get him to do it for me.
Yeah, I got you, man. Whenever you're ready.
So it's a win-win for everybody. You know what I mean? Then the audience, they could see the work too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
For sure. We'll take care of them.
Yeah. Well, guys, hope you guys liked the show. Remember, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Sure helps the channel grow. And if you guys need a tattoo, go ahead and go to Davi Tattoos at Mom's.
Sorry, Mom Tattooing.
Sorry, Mom's Tattoos. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Later.